I ironically don't know how to convince someone that you shouldn't kill someone for stealing your treasured Walkman, even after brandishing a weapon. I'm not even saying this is a dunk. I was just so ill-prepared for what would seem to me like generally agreeable. I think it's just a background thing. Because on the flip side of it, because people have always presented in the most one-sided way. Like, and on the flip side, I can't imagine telling somebody to just say, dude, it's all right, man. Just let them steal all your shit. Like, who cares? You'll probably buy another one in a year or two anyway. Or like when taxes come, like maybe you can get another one. Like, I could never imagine telling somebody like that. I would be so ashamed. I would be so fucking ashamed of that. Dave Chappelle told a similar story in one of his recent skits about like coming between a man and his money or whatever, and how the guy, he thought he was gonna fucking kill him. I truly do think that it's like, I truly do think it's a difference in background though. So, but yeah, I don't know. I understand it. I understand that perspective, but. No, come on! Don't fucking throw some dog shit argument at me.
You've assigned me, please, God.
Oh my God, he's bringing out the dog shit arguments. Can I? Oh, since I'm streaming on YouTube, can I say to the YouTube commenters, when you guys like meme hard, you guys like run memes into the ground so hard on my fucking comment section, and it's really sad. It used to be Destiny got X in this debate, and you guys like memed that up on like 7 million fucking videos, and now it's Destiny. That's a whatever his name. Like now that meme is like ran into the ground. You guys need to chill on that. Holy shit.
It's not just the Solstice thing. One of the most unbearable and most demented Twitch streamers, political Twitch streamers to me, is Hassan Piker. And the reason I find it so unbearable to watch is that it is 100% entertainment.
Technocracy. You have Logic by Philosophy Tube, which is a big rhetorical breakdown of a speech given by Julius Caesar. You have Charles Darwin versus Karl Marx, which I haven't watched because it's an hour long, minute long. You have Anti-Semitism, which I thought was pretty good.
Are you just reading? Can I do this too? Can I read the next one? You have Beauty and Ugly Times by Philosophy Tube.
I haven't watched that one.
Okay, and then what's the next one?
Artists and Fandoms, which was anti-parasocial relationship. I thought that was.
And then you got one called Data by Philosophy Tube, and then what's the next one?
Well, I was just doing 10, but yes, we have the Data one.
Okay.
I don't remember being a big fan of that one. The Trouble with the Video Game Industry, that's an Econ one, so that's probably one you wouldn't like. And I don't remember being very fond of it myself.
Okay.
Econ is
Queer.
I think that video's fine.
Okay.
HBO's Chernobyl and Personal Responsibility. I think that one was really great, actually.
That's a really great one. Do you know who Maya the streamer is?
Yeah.
If Maya was walking somewhere and she saw like on the other end of the street that there was like a scared like injured cat or some shit like that, I think that she would cross the street and help the animal in an instant. Because when I look at the way that like she lives her life, it seems like, okay, these aren't just like slogans for her. This seems to be something that she like feels really passionately about, and she puts like a lot of her life and energy into doing these things. Like this seems to be like a pretty principled person. I don't know if I feel that way about a lot of other like content creators or influencers or whatever that do politics online.
And you.
No, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's not unlikely.
He can't.
I like was like, this could be true. Wait, are you serious? Like, what the fuck? What? Maybe.
Doesn't Hassan make millions?
Yes, he probably makes more money in 1 month than Devin makes in a year.
I can't tell you that because if he does,
Well, or it's probably close, would be my guess. It's probably close.
he loses the whole image. But Hassan makes fucking.
But be more transparent with your income. Nobody needs that much. What are you doing with it? How you support left-wing politics? Very practical with your money. So, first of all, I am one of the few people that literally shows you exactly what my sub count is. Okay, and the reason for that is literally for this purpose.
Wait, everybody shows their sub count. The reason why you show your sub count is to say X from Y. Like, you don't just show your sub count. You do the X out of Y every time. It's to goad on more subs. Like, what do you mean? Everybody does sub count. Also, you can't hide your sub count. What a fucking stupid fucking argument. What the fuck? I show my sub count? Literally everybody shows their fucking. It's public information.
My bishop.
Good. So retreating was an option. And
Situations like this.
maybe.
Like, so I'm at the part past where, spoilers, I guess. I'm almost done with season 3. I'm past the part where Levi lets another fucking guy get away. He even promised Erwin, the only good guy in this fucking anime, by the way, that he was going to kill the Beast Titan, and he just sits there. What is he going to do? What's he going to do? Ask him questions? He's not bringing him back to base. Just fucking kill him. What's wrong with you? God, it's so dumb. Fuck.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold
Yes.
on. So for like chauvinists or misogynists, do you think it's ethical for them to like rape people because it's a part of their like internally consistent misogynistic worldview that women are property?
Sure, if that's part of their worldview, then yeah, then they're why. That's why person that is like ordering the individual to steal, he'd be the one culpable for bad actions that happen as a result.
Okay,
of
but here I'm only analyzing, right? I don't care about the culpability. Surely the Jack Bauer person, the hostage taker, has a great deal of responsibility. Something happened?
He fucking threw. What happened? He threw hard. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay.
No, don't worry about it. Is there some like event?
Oh, he was almost on the dream run, and then something happened.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize to me. Just rip. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go back to what you're saying. Okay, sorry. I'm back. I'm pretty sure I referred to Abigail as she/her for the entire conversation. The only time I switched to they and them is because I wasn't sure how to refer to somebody on video in the past tense when they're presenting as a male. I just wasn't sure on that. So I changed to they, them just to be safe. I don't think there's anything fucking wrong with that. That is unbelievably fucking pedantic to take an issue with. So I'm trying to push back more on the extremist language because I noticed that a lot of people will couch their arguments in giving me an extreme example that I have to bite onto when I don't really need to. I can just say, well, hold on. I think that your language is very loaded. I kind of agree with what you're saying, but like, let's go back and kind of like disassemble. Is that a word? Disassemble? I think it is, right? Disassemble some of this language or unpackage some of this language to make this a little bit less extreme so that it doesn't feel like you're begging the question, right? Because it feels like people are engaging in this. It feels like people are almost begging the question. So when I say begging the question, what I mean is like people are literally including the conclusion with their question. So like, Destiny, do you think it's good to do evil things? It's like, well, when you phrase it like that, no, I guess not, because like, it's clear from your question that this is the only possible answer. Like, but yeah, sorry. Thorn as they/them instead of she/her, especially whenever he got mad. I realized there's a transition period and he never seemed to come even close to him, but this kind of subtle misgendering is still pretty easy to avoid. For you're permabanned. What the fuck is up with some of these fucking insane people? I'm pretty sure I referred to Abigail as he. Oh my god. Just fucking end my life. I'll be right back. He misspoke. He is in me misspoke. Go for it.
There are a lot of people in chat painting right now, like, why does the truth matter? Whether or not two different interpretations or two different versions of a story meaningfully affect political discourse around that story is a valid question. One of the issues that I have with your content, Destiny, is sometimes it feels like you sacrifice political efficacy for the image of correctness, even if that line between technical correctness and rhetorically or politically efficacious but somewhat misleading is ultimately meaningless.
That's because my goal isn't to get an audience of 20,000 brain dead lefties that all just want to hear me circle jerk the popular lefty take of the news. I want to be able to reach. I want to be able to reach. Yeah, and that's not happening on YouTube. Okay, my goal isn't to just get a whole bunch of people that already agree with me and then just. All right, Zimmers, you're up. Hello?
What?
I dragged you in. You were in. Wait.
No, I wasn't already. Sorry.
Oh well, hey, how you doing, man?
Hi, I was playing games.
Oh, well, what game are you playing?
The AOT game on Steam.
God, you're disgusting. And it's SNK, loser. Sorry. Okay. I dragged from the wrong lobby. Fine.
Like, if you aren't owning the slaves, then someone else steps up to own this. I don't necessarily know if it works that way.
The reason why I'm saying, wait, hold on.
The reason why I'm saying this about landlords and cops specifically is because the way those institutions work, especially with landowning, literally require that those institutions exist.
Wait, you don't think the agricultural, economic organization of the South, required slavery?
When I said this many times, I see Vaush as the Sargon of left-wing YouTube.
Well, I think that, principally, the right doesn't care about misinformation. Leftists, I think, just are very good at misleading themselves.
I don't know if that's true. I think the right is the same. I think a lot of them are very good at misleading themselves. But go ahead.
Okay, well, we can discuss that. But that aside, if we were to get rid of all content which has any misleading elements for the advocacy of liberal or left-leaning politics, I think that would destroy almost everything. We would be left with NPR-style, incredibly empirical, fact-based, and dry commentary high-level academia accessible only content, and maybe a
No.
couple of people left
This
capable
is-
of threading that line.
Wait, this is a
Wait,
bad...
hold on. There are people in chat saying good. We lose if that happens.
Wait.
I
I think it looked bad when you claimed you didn't use rhetoric in the past and you technically used logos. It makes it hard for you to call them on rhetoric if you don't acknowledge that. I think in the future you say that you use logos, which isn't very effective. That seems like an incredibly... I thought that there's a difference between, like... I guess logos is a type of rhetoric. My understanding is that when we say rhetoric conventionally, what we're talking about is like the art of effective or persuasive speaking or writing, especially the use of figures of speech and other compositional techniques. Is there like a more formal philosophical definition of rhetoric? There might be, and I'm just not aware of it. He seems like a smart businessman. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know how Mark Cuban made his money. The only person that I saw that was a somewhat mainstream media like stock or a mainstream like stockish figure talk about this was that didn't have dog shit fucking takes was, believe it or not, was Martin Shkreli. Like, that's it.
Oh, I was gonna say my mom must have been trans.
I can hear it. You need to slow down.
fingers can't get big enough, you know.
I like how do you know why he says good here? I'm sorry. High level meta-analysis. It's so funny. The reason why he says she's doing good here is because she's doing good with respect to the politics that she's pushing. Which is really funny because it seems like he admires her consistency to that level, but he criticized me for that earlier. Like, do you think it's good when somebody is consistent? If they're pushing something bad, well, depending on how you look at it, yeah, of course, that's good. And he is more or less saying that here, which is kind of funny, but that's like a meta. It's not that important, but...
Then, to put it frankly, I just don't care about sincerity. I care about...
Link me this clip. Tomorrow in D&D, it's going to be a stomp. We are going to stomp Scoria's people so hard. It's going to be A, super quick combat, and B, it is not even going to be close.
Yeah.
Okay? Link me that after it's not close.
I don't get specialization anyway because I'm a multi-classed fighter.
That's true.
I only
There you
got
go.
expertise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
It's not fucking funny, all right.
Okay. So
cops are
wait,
to our
why did
criminal
the
justice
South care so much about having slaves then if they didn't
because
need them?
they
Basically, right as I get here, I'll park myself next to this tree, and I just want to kind of like take a listen.
Okay. So you can hear people stirring in these two tents, and you can hear something coming from this tree.
Coming from which tree?
The one behind you, from whence you came.
Oh, it sounds like two dumb fucks moving around, probably, right? Not.
It's because I moved up, man. That's...
So when I see somebody that's going to sit here and say, when I see somebody that's going to sit here and talk about how socialism and the revolution and we need to help and empower people and blah, 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 and it's like, wow, that's awesome. Like, what do you do? Well, I get the message out on my YouTube channel where I run advertisements, where I get sponsors, and where I have a Patreon to pay for every single episode. It's like, okay. Like, it seems like you could do something, like anything to see like when I look at somebody like Nick Fuentes, like that's a guy that is like trying to do
infinitely
real,
more
like,
effective
work.
than-
Yeah, and not just effective like rhetorically. Like that guy's like out like fucking marching on that. You can I still don't know if he was at the Capitol or not, or if that picture is a meme or not. But like I'm pretty sure he was at least outside, right? Like that's the guy that's marching. He's got his own fucking movement of gripers. These guys are showing up at like Charlie Kirk conventions and stuff. Like damn, like that guy's like he's actually like organizing and doing shit. And he's like banned on every platform. Leftists have like all the capital behind them. They've got all the corporate messaging behind them. Like they're in such a good position to raise money on all these platforms. where is it going? Like, what the
Okay,
fuck?
I don't disagree with this. I'm sorry. Did I say
Okay,
something? That
what
was
about the
inaccurate?
Shadow App thing? Do you believe that the Shadow App was funded because Pete's fucking wife is like friends with the chair or whatever of that company?
I'm going to be honest with you. It's been long enough.
My understanding is that there were slave owners that were way more chill than other slave owners. That I'm pretty sure there were slave owners that worked to help, like, hey, like, I'm going to go and help you buy your freedom, or like, I'm going to support you in your journey to the north, or I'm going to support you. Like, these people did exist. There were a spectrum of slave owners, right? The more testosterone a woman has when pregnant determines the penis size. There's no way that's true. I'm sorry. When it comes to penis size, I can tell you quite confidently that there will be no rumors, that there will be no mysterious information, that there will be no secrets. If ever, in the history of all of mankind, something was discovered that can accurately correlate to or be used to boost penis size, literally every single human being on this planet would know about it. It would, like, that's it.
Oh, I was gonna say my mom must have been trans.
Okay, let's assume then, because we're not going to agree on this, let's assume that there is a country or a state mandated 1 million slave minimum, and you owned the millionth slave. Do you think at that point then that it's morally neutral for you to own that slave, because if you stopped, somebody else would just step up and they would own that slave instead, if it was a mandated minimum number of slaves?
This feels like a bad faith clip moment, but yeah, I think that would be morally neutral. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm trying to figure out.
If there's
That's
literally
fine.
a mandated amount, and
Okay.
so it has to go.
Then
to
if
somebody,
you're the one that owns the slave, it's morally neutral. Okay, that's meow. Guy goes up to my garage. He can read it. He knows the risks, and he says, "You know, I'm gonna break into this garage and steal this dude's shit." Let's say that I see him, and I see him break into my garage, and I know that if he gets into the garage, he's gonna ride off with my motorcycle. And I tell him, "Hey, stop! I'm calling the cops. I'm gonna shoot you if you get on my bike and ride away."
And also, these are the same people that get mad at people like fucking Ben Shapiro and Nick. It's the same fucking thing. And that's why perspective philosophy says they are basically like a Nazi. It's because they operate under the same methods. They are not interested in reaching out to what is true and what is good. They're reaching out to what is convenient to them and their own arbitrary ends. And that is just the biggest fucking... Yeah, that's the thing that pisses me off. So...
Yeah. What do you need? 6:30.
Okay. Hey, why are you so mad?
I'm not.
Are you losing? Okay.
You are losing.
These poor women in training.
They all women.
Dead. Yeah, this is a pack of women.
No wonder
The
it's so
Casper
easy.
of the night.
How weird.
Kurzgesagt video. You know Kurzgesagt, the really cute animated videos about science and tech and stuff like that, and like sociology and anthropology. If I was educated enough, and I'm not, by the way, those aren't any of my fields. If I was, I could probably find a few points
And now he's
of
just gonna harp on this. Jeez, this is crazy.
Everything, you know?
Wait, hold on. I just real quick, okay? I'm not gonna get like mean with you or whatever, but I just want to point out that like, so like this guy in your chat, Destiny be like, you claim to be socialist, but you haven't donated your entire income to charity. Curious. Man, Phil Wynn, you are really fucking stupid. I'm so sorry that you have to live your existence. Okay.
Well, this
sorry.
guy in your chat just said Vosh Tony W. You want to answer for that?
What's wrong with Tony W?
Oh, I don't like the look.
Oh, are you AFK? You're not even meant to. Okay, never mind. Dumbass. Duh bears.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to touch on the stuff you were talking about with Booksmarts earlier about kind of how you're perceived by people, and so I know you talk about it a lot when you're kind of like saying why you feel like people watch you, and you don't feel like anything you necessarily say is super unique or anything like that, but at the same time, when you talk about like why people watch you, you talk about stuff like your aesthetic, that the way you talk about things is kind of unique, the sort of like analogies you use and stuff. So that it kind of feels like.
And you, short-sighted fools, have let your own personal and petty vengeance put the entire operation at risk. I honestly can't believe that you would be so foolhardy and stupid to do what you have just done. I've heard the reports about the interrogations down in the dungeons. I've heard the same information you have, plus some, and I can't believe the three of you are such dumb fucks.
Ignoring this shit, that's not a Pepula D simp, but as a former campaign worker, I'm going to say something about the Georgia canvassing. If I had gotten that amount of money, it would have been national news. I would have hired 3 professional organizers. They would have had absolutely blowout turnout.
You would have hired 3 professional organizers for $20,000 for 2 months of work. And also, let's say for instance, let's say you could do this. You are sitting on almost 5,000 subs. You're a single guy. Why not fucking do it? What do you spend your money on? Like, you have this money. Why are you pretending like you don't?
Thing unethical that should be illegal happen.
No.
Yeah, so I think the most egregious thing was
Wall Street
probably what happened on social media. There was a lot of people getting people behind the hype. I think that was pretty immoral. I think...
Unironically, the one thing that needed to be charged by the SEC investigator is the activity that went on like Wall Street Bets and shit. Unironically, yeah.
I think Chamath
Would you say
and
from like random shit posters or like moderation?
GameStop.
Moderation, 1,000,000%. Shit posters a little bit, but definitely moderation. They were curating the content on that sub to drive hype up around those securities. That's super.
Yeah,
fucked.
that's the thing that flipped. At first, I was like, I don't know if you can go after shit posters for market manipulation, but after I learned that the mods were actually deleting threads that went against the grain.
Yes,
that shit
super fucked. Yeah. Let's say that there is one person in a hospital and they have a cold, and there are 2 people in the hospital that are dying and need kidneys or else they'll die. Should we kill the one person to save the 2? Well, if we're a consequentialist, yes, because the ends justify the means. Easy. Boom. Like, kill one person, save 2 people. It's literally fucking grade school math, okay? Consequentialism solved, right? The problem is that when we say the ends justify the means, right? There's another end there. The end there isn't saving 2 people. That's not the only end. There's another end that we've carried over there. And another one of those ends is we have made a society where it's okay to kill one person to save 2 people. That society would collapse. Nobody would go to hospitals anymore ever. People wouldn't sleep next to other people because they'd be worried about being killed to give organs to people. There would probably be entire organizations dedicated to hunting down people for body parts. Let's restructure this a little bit so that it's not as inflammatory, so that you're not begging the question. So I think that if you give proper notice to somebody and they know that their life will be on the line if they decide to break into your stuff and steal your stuff from you, that you have the right... Oh my god. Fucking Mel's phone.
Who basically tried to recreate the old world upon the ashes. The richest person of Spain is an aristocrat, a Spanish aristocratic family.
Sure. Or literally a more recent example. I actually get very irritated when lefties bring up like, we need the revolution, we need the revolution. It's like every revolution doesn't produce like a positive outcome. Like just because a government is overthrown and something else appears doesn't mean it's always going to be good. Because people just assume that. They just like, oh, well, of course, whatever comes next. It's like, you don't know that. Like right now, no offense, but if I had to choose a side between the conservatives of the U.S. and like the left-leaning people of the U.S., I'm going to go with the people that fucking like live on farms and fucking shoot each other all day with rifles. Like I'm going with the conservatives on that one. Like, I'm sorry, but you're not winning that civil war, my dude.
I think a better example, you don't just have to be a revolution or a war. Like with the COVID crisis that we are going through, a good comparison would be the Black Death.
For a real life example of this, I think it's bad when like scummy guys trick girls into like sleeping in hotel rooms and then like sexually assault them or rape them or whatever. I think that's bad. However, I think it's worse when somebody does it that pretends to be like an ally and pretends to be super left-leaning and pretends to be super big on like progressive values around that. I think both of them are really horrible, but I think it's worse when one person is also hypocritical and inconsistent with their beliefs on top of it. The other guy is a scumfuck piece of shit and fuck him. That's bad. And both of these are really horrible. But if you're a scumfuck piece of shit and you're a hypocrite on top of it, that's even worse, in my opinion.
Do you think there's any difference then between people who post misinformation about COVID-19 and people who post misinformation about Super Smash Bros. Cheat codes that would allow you to play as Sonic in Melee? Obviously, we have to make moral judgments about what types of misinformation are worthy of condemnation.